I just had a feeling because numbers were going up, it'll try and do something tricky. Go back down, close the door.
Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. One of my biggest fears in life is going bald. If you're new here, my name's Ash, I'm 27, I'm a cybersecurity enthusiast, and on this channel we go over all things TryHackMe walkthroughs, capture the flags, and hacking. On this video, we're going over day 14 of the Advent of Cyber TryHackMe event, which is covering web applications. For all other details like timestamps, playlists, and links, you can find in the description. With all that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so I've gone ahead and booted up the machine. So we have some internal web app that we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be using OWASP Top 10, an open web application security project that is really awesome, and you can find that in like the beginner path for TryHackMe. And we'll also be looking at IDOR, which I have no idea what that is. So first section is a web application. And this is a piece of software that we can use via a web browser. Unlike computer programs and smartphone applications, a web application does not require any installation on the user's system to make use of it. So our web app, we only need a web browser such as Firefox, Edge, Chrome, Safari, Brave, Opera, so on and so forth. So lots of advantages there. Obviously, it doesn't matter what operating system, Mac, Windows, Linux, we just need a modern web browser and we're good to go. It's going to create the same interface and experience despite using different tech. And we can even optimize it for smartphones. And even on the developer side, so those coding and creating don't need multiple versions of the applications itself. One application will rule it all. So we have some examples of popular web applications: web mail like Proton Mail and Gmail, online shopping, Etsy, eBay, banking, online office suites like Microsoft Office, Zoho, and so on. Next section, database. When we're talking about web apps, we can talk about database systems. So even the most basic apps like an online store will have some sort of database that stores products, customer details, purchases. So we have two popular database models. So number one, a relational database, which stores data in tables which can share information. So a basic example would have three tables: products, customer details, and purchases. And the purchases table would use information from the product table. Then we have a non-relational database. So a database that doesn't use tables and might store data in documents, graph nodes, or some other type. So generally a web app needs to constantly query the database to pull information to and from. So next up, access control. So let's think about an online shop as a customer. So after logging in successfully, username, password, you should be able to browse the available products, check the products and details, prices, among various other things. Depending on the online shop, you might be able to add a question or a review about the product. However, as a customer, you should not be able to change the price or details due to access control. Makes sense. So this is a security element that determines who can access certain information and resources. So after authentication, which we covered in day 5, access control enforces the appropriate access level. In the online shopping example, a vendor should be able to update prices, descriptions of their products. However, they should not be able to modify information related to other vendors. A customer, on the other hand, should be able to view but not be able to alter. But, and this is prefacing what we're going to be looking at, various programming and design mistakes happen which allow access control to sometimes not appropriately implemented. Next up, web application vulnerabilities. So the OWASP was established to improve software security, and there is an OWASP Top 10 list that aims to raise awareness regarding common security issues that have plagued web applications. So this list helps software developers to avoid these common mistakes to build more secure products. IDOR refers to the situation where a user can manipulate the input to bypass authorization due to the poor access control. IDOR was the 4th on the OWASP Top 10 list in 2013, before it was published under broken access control in 2017. To learn more about IDOR, consider the following examples. This is actually coming back to me. I have done this in the OWASP Top 10 room. TryHackMe. So let's say that the user ID 132 is directed to the following URL after being logged in. SantaGift.shop account user ID equals 132. However, they soon discover that they can browse user profiles by changing the user ID value from 132 to other values expected to match existing user IDs. Although the system should deny them access to the new URL due to lack of authorization, an IDOR vulnerability will let the user display such unauthorized pages. In this figure below, the user managed to access user account ID with 101. So consider the example where requesting an invoice generates a link similar to test vulnerabilities. One would replace 115 with another number as shown in the image below. The system is vulnerable if it lets them access the other user's invoices. Cool. Okay, so the impact of IDOR vulnerability might let you reset passwords for another user. For instance, after logging in, a malicious user might start with the URL to change their password and replace their username with that of another user. So we can see this example here, change password equals a user, and we could change that to another one. So that making pretty good sense. Next section, we've got exploiting an IDOR vulnerability. So let's start our attack box and look at the virtual machine, and we'll go from there. Great, I'm on the OpenVPN connection to TryHackMe's VPN. I'm gonna paste in our IP address to port 8080, where we have a web application running. We then have user McSkitty, and we have the password dev test, and we can log in, and we can see up here in our URL, we have our office number 110, and we have our users 101. So maybe we can go 100 and see if we can get, no, we can't get that. Can we go 102? Hey, look, we have different user 103. We have a different user 10. Wow. Okay. So after doing some tests, can we exploit multiple IDOR vulnerabilities after logging in? A user can access profile pages of other users. Moreover, files can be accessed by guessing the sequential number. So what is the office number of Elf Pivot McRed? That's 105. Oh, the office number 134, but the user of 105. So not only profile pages, but also stored images are vulnerable with a URL of a valid profile image. So we'll go drag that up and we get images 105, and we have a hidden flag somewhere. So is it back at 100? There we go. I just had a feeling because the numbers were going up, it'll try and do something tricky. Go back down, close the door. Awesome. Well, that was room day 14. I hope you enjoyed that. That was fun. It was a lot smaller than the other rooms and it wasn't as tricky, so that was cool. Great to learn more about web apps, and using OWASP 10 is always a win. So thank you very much for watching up until this part of the video. I appreciate it. Please feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ding the bell, all that sort of good stuff. I'm gonna let YouTube recommend a video for you, plus the playlist to all the other videos in this series, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you again. See you later.